Ms.Black introvert.
Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. So chances are you're clicking on this video because you either are in your first weeks of taking Lexapro or you are thinking about taking your Lexapro. Like me, you were prescribed Lexapro, and because of health anxiety or just general concern for your physical well-being, it's sitting on your desk or your dresser just collecting dust because you're too scared to take it. So I decided to make a sort of series, a Lexapro diaries of sorts, for my fellow Lexapro baddies, people that have been prescribed Lexapro, to kind of look back on and use my personal anecdotal experience to influence your very personal anecdotal experience. I personally would suggest that you just do not take my experience as something like as law. Just because I've experienced these symptoms doesn't mean that you will experience these symptoms, because my physiology, I did not say that word right at all. My physical body is different from your physical body. So don't expect to experience symptoms because I've experienced symptoms and vice versa. So I really know in the beginning stages of deciding whether or not to take Lexapro, I was looking on a lot of Reddit forums of other people's experiences and symptoms and side effects, and it kind of scared me out of taking it. But I'm only on my first week so far, so I don't want to jinx myself. But the symptoms were surprising. If you don't know what Lexapro is, this is interesting, but I'll just explain for the sake of explanation. So Lexapro is an antidepressant. I was prescribed the generic version, which I'll insert the name maybe, but it starts with an E, escitalopram. Throughout the 7 days I've been on Lexapro, I've been journaling, so that has helped me to kind of keep track of my symptoms for myself and luckily for you for this video. Before we get into day one, I just want to explain why I decided to finally take the Lexapro that was prescribed to me. So recently I restarted school. I went back to school as a 28-year-old adult, single mom. So it was very new for me. I've tried to go back to school numerous amounts of times, but it never was the right time. Finally, my kids are a little older and it feels like the right time to go back. And I just felt like I was in the right headspace for it. Like my anxiety, it's still kind of bad, but it wasn't as bad as when I was a few years younger. I've been in therapy and that's definitely been helping me to kind of foster a mindset uh that's helpful for school. So I was like, I'm ready to go back to school, and I went back full time. My second semester, I didn't initially jump right into it full time. I started part time, which anybody returning to school as an adult, don't jump into full time. Like start part time and then go into full time, because that's what helped me. When I tried to, yeah, whatever. That's another story. But yeah, so I noticed that my anxiety was increasing being in school because I was diagnosed as having social anxiety, which yeah, so school is kind of like it will ramp up your social anxiety. If you have social anxiety, you know that. So I noticed that my mindfulness techniques that I was doing wasn't working as much. Like breathing in and out, focusing on like sensations in my body and stuff like that. It wasn't work. It wasn't as effective as it was when I wasn't in school. So I feel like the stress, the load, the cognitive load was becoming to be a lot, and it wasn't going to be able to just be counteracted. It wasn't going to be able to be limited or diminished by just simply breathing in and out, which mindfulness I do think is a really good tool in your toolbox if you're an anxious person, but it just wasn't enough. So finally, I was like, I'm getting irritable. I'm noticing myself ramping up to becoming overwhelmed. And I don't want to just give up on school, because that's what I did in the past when I became overwhelmed with stress and anxiety. I would just give up on whatever I was doing. So I was like, let me take the Lexapro. It's sitting on my desk. What's the worst that can happen? Like, this was after looking through Reddit and all this stuff, everybody's symptoms and things. And I saw a couple people who were like, Lexapro changed my life. And those little bit of like positive experiences kind of led me to finally take the leap into taking it. So that's just a little background onto why I decided to take it.
Is anxiety and depression making your life feel like a living hell? Get Lexapro, a gift from God.
Side effects of lexapro may include nausea, sweating, insomnia, tiredness, rash, muscle stiffness, bad bitchery, fatigue, self-worth, diarrhea, a sudden urge to spend your savings on cryptocurrency, lack of appetite, impending doom, hair loss, hair gain, intrusive thoughts, spiritual awakening, spiritual distress, anxiety, depression.
Let's go to the symptoms because I feel like that's what people are here for. So day 1, dizzy, shaky feeling, diarrhea, sweaty, hot flashes, anxiety, but I attribute that to me watching a bunch of side effect TikToks. One woman said she had a seizure, a serotonin induced seizure, and that freaked me out. So I couldn't go to sleep the first day really because I was scared I was going to have a seizure in my sleep and die. So thank you to that TikTok. Day 2 was an odd experience. So I had a feeling while walking to school to get on the bus, the city bus. I felt like I was walking on a treadmill, and it felt a bit like a marijuana high type of feeling, and on and off paranoid feeling, which is not unusual for me because when I'm like super anxious, I get a little bit paranoid. So that's something I should bring up to my therapist. Day 3, I was reading my journal and I noticed I was having a lot of racing thoughts. That just seems to be the symptom that stands out. Vivid dreams began, and I've been having dreams from day 1. Honestly, I don't know why I said it started on day 3. I was having dreams since taking it, which they haven't been nightmares, so that's nice. Day 4, woke up later than usual, which just an hour later than usual, so not that much. And I'm definitely noticing more fatigue on day 4. Just in the at the end of the day, I'm pooped. Side note, so in the beginning days when I first took Lexapro, I took 10 mg. That's how much I was prescribed. Also, I should have said that in the beginning, but I was prescribed 10 mg, which is the kind of common dosage that you'll be prescribed, a therapeutic dose. But so in the beginning, I noticed that, damn, I lost my track of mind. See, I don't know if that's Lexapro, but I definitely lost what I was saying. What was I going to say? Okay. Okay, I noticed that I was super tired. That's what I was going to say. So I took it in the beginning in the daytime, and I was very tired from doing that. So I was like, I'm going to take half of it in the day and then half of it at night. But then I didn't like that feeling either. So I was like, let me just take it all at night. Like, it's making me tired. Might as well. And the best choice ever, because I get the most just deep sleep. Even with the dreams, I still wake up very refreshed and energized. I wish the energized feeling would last throughout the day, because by the end of the day, I'm just super tired. And I hope that's something that's going to kind of dissipate the more I take it, but whatever. Day 5, tossing and turning in my sleep, hot flashes, which, yeah, the hot flashes are throughout this experience. I've been having hot flashes, which a lot of people were saying was a common symptom that lasts kind of past the initial weeks. So look forward to that. I have low energy, randomly tired. But I kind of noted that I did watch the Tyson fight the night before, and I stayed up later than I usually do to watch it. So yeah. Oh my God, I was so terrified that I wasn't recording my audio for a minute. So yeah, it might have been that. And then day 6, very vivid dreams. Also woke up in the beginning stages of sleep and saw a huge spider, which this is a common hallucination you have with Lexapro. And I know people hear hallucinations and they're like, oh my God, what? I'm gonna start hallucinating. But it's called a hypnopomic hallucination. So it's a hallucination you get right if you're startled awake, you're suddenly wake up, you might have a brief hallucination of a spider or something in the corner of your room, and it immediately disappears once you're fully up. So it's a side effect of psychiatric medicine sometimes. So It is what it is. I've noticed a lower appetite because of like random bouts of nausea. My alarm came off. I'm gonna have to wrap this up soon. Okay, so yeah, random bouts of nausea. So lower appetite. I lost a pound, but I just feel like I've been able to kind of slow down and not stress eat as much. So it was that. It's not really the lexapro, I don't think. But I hope this is a trend that continues, because I'm overweight, so I don't want to have an increase in appetite. And I notice a lot of people say they gain weight on lexapro, so I'm just being mindful of like my eating habits because of that. So honestly, lexapro is leading to a little bit less weight like gain for me, because I'm more mindful of my eating habits. Day 7, influx of intrusive thoughts. Day 7 was kind of like the most anxiety I had with lexapro. So I just was not feeling the city bus. I was feeling very anxious from the city bus, and it could have been I had a statistics test that I was not prepared for at all, which, granted, I got an 80, so I didn't know. I did not study whatsoever. Sometimes I have to just like, I just gotta face the facts. I'm kind of smart, you know? I'm kind of smart, because I did not study for that statistics test whatsoever, and I got an 80. So there you have it. That is my first week of lexapro, and I don't want to make any promises, but I hope you guys will stick around to just hear my experiences when it comes to lexapro. Yeah, and I hope that this video was helpful to anybody that's on the kind of, what is the word, that kind of is still on the fence. I'm so bad with idioms and sayings, and who's on the fence about lexapro. I hope this helped you to either make a decision on whatever decision you're going to make, if you're not going to take it, or you're going to take it, or you're going to wait, whatever. But I think that prioritizing your mental health is the most top priority. It's above everything else, in my opinion. Your physical health and your mental health they go together. So whatever you do, make sure you're prioritizing that. And I decided, like, with this little lexapro diary series, that I'll kind of like give each other, like, we all have some type of like assignment, mental health assignment. So some type of you work, that was my little play on homework. It's you work. So I have assigned us to download a task, not a task, a routine app. Download a routine app and start giving yourself little daily routines to do throughout the day, and check them off. I downloaded Rabbit, I think it's called, and that app is very helpful with staying on track with taking my medicine and reminding myself to read or take walks. Just like little, it's really good. It's really cute too. So when you remember to do your like routines, when you check off a to-do, you get little carrots to feed your rabbit, which, it's cute. I don't really care about that part. I just like the aesthetic of the app and checking off the to-do. So it's a cute little app, obviously not sponsored. So yeah, thanks for watching throughout this video. You can go now. Bye.